Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we'll go through first, sort of marking your tracks up in performance mode. So you go down to your hotkey, drop down. So you've got this on both sides of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
one for each deck. So just here, and you can see that our hotkeys have shown up for this track
Yeah.
that we set previously in export mode. And on the right hand side, it would be this drop down just here. And we can put that into memory queue mode. So it's the same thing again. Rather than type in C and M
Mm-hmm.
to set our queue marker, we have to click the buttons and do it manually. But it's just queue and memory like that. So C, M again, basically.
Okay.
So that's how we could mark up our tracks. But what I was gonna say to you is if we just load this track in here. So to load a track in performance mode from the laptop, you can press and hold the shift button and then either left or right for the corresponding deck. So we'll put a marker in this, so just queue and then memory. And then what I can do to work out my intervals or where to put the next marker, I can come to this memory queue, drop down and select beat jump. And now this is going to jump me through the track in these intervals.
Yeah.
So I'll just scroll along so we get longer intervals. So here 32 is going to jump us by 32 beats each time, or 8 bars, or one phrase. So if I click that, there it's jumped me by 8 bars. So what you could do every 8 bars, depending on how long the track is on the intro section, either every 8 bars if the beginning of the track isn't that long, or every 16 bars if you've got a really long track, you could put a marker, and then you could use those as your guides for transitioning. So the first one would be where you press play. Next one is where you raise the volume. The next one is where you add the mid. The next one's where you swap the bass, and the last one is where you drop the volume. So that's a way that you could go from mark your tracks. So we just do it on the 8s for this. So cue, memory. It's a bit annoying going back and forth through the menus, but it's useful once you get the hang of it. So now we've got markers every 8 bars on there. Oh, beat loop, beat jump. There we go. And then we can label those as
Intro,
what they are.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you can do the same on the outro of your track. So find where your track ends, and then just work your way back in those same intervals. In the same way. So it's beat, jump, and then just go back by 32 at a time, and put your markers in that way. So that's.
Can you show me the original way we did it first time round when we were?
Yeah. So the first time round we were just going through and we were listening to hear where the changes were in the track. So if we load this one in. We'll just go beat jump, and select memory queue. So that's the beginning of our track. So just queue and memory, and then we can let it play on. And we just listen for where we heard a change in the track.
Yeah.
And it tends to be every 8 bars. 2, 3, 4, there. And there we get that sort of bass line come in.
Yep.
So queue, memory, and when you're in performance mode, you have to right click in the empty bank
Okay.
in order to type in there.
So when we typed C and M earlier, were we in export mode then?
Yeah.
Right.
We're in export mode. Oh, how do you? It's normally 2 fingers to the right click, isn't it?
You can use the mouse if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do it on here? Is it? Oh, there we go.
The right click.
Yeah. So for that one, we could just say bass. And that one, intro. Then we can play on there we had so that would be like a heavier bass line that came in, and also like more percussion and stuff. So we could really call that like first drop if we wanted to, because we had a lot of the elements come in. And then we just keep repeating this throughout the track. Each time we hear a change, and then towards the end we can find some good points to sort of transition out. So maybe around here. So just so here, we just call that mix out 1. There we go. And then if there was space too, we can find another point there. So that's how we could mark our track.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Excellent.